It's Bijan Robinson. Bijan, thanks for joining us. I'm going to start off with a double question. First part, tell us about your partnership with C4. Second part, give us your bold Super Bowl prediction.
Yes, sir. So with my partnership with C4, you know, we've been a great partner for a long time. And as you can see here, we got in my opinion, the best drink. And it's the most flavorful drink. But, you know, it's a very good partnership. You know, just the performance energy for all the athletes, you know, that love to use it. And not just for athletes, but for people that, you know, are in working life and that just are in the day-to-day life. You know, this is a great pick-me-up to have. So, you know, I love being here with C4, and I love just partnering with them for not just me but for everybody. And then for my Super Bowl pick, I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs.
Oh, there we go.
27-20. I'm going to say 27-20.
Smart man. I mean,
that's my pick.
You're giving the Niners maybe a little more credit than I would, but that's a good pick. So whenever we have the opportunity to talk to someone who was, you know, a high school record breaker, somebody who was a standout athlete from a very young age, I'm always curious. What was the first time, how old were you, and do you remember the moment, the first time someone, an adult, said to you, I think you can be a professional athlete. I think this can be what you do for a living.
Yeah, so my sophomore year of high school, it was like kind of towards the end of the season when playoffs were about to start. And, you know, one of the scouts, he was from a college scout, was telling me, he was saying, like, hey, man, I don't know if you want to do this for a long time, but he was saying, like, this could be something that you can dominate for such a very long time, just off of your playing style, like off of how you run the ball, how you catch the ball, how you do a lot of different things. And, you know, he was saying, like, I'm a physical runner, but, like, how I run the ball, I can be in the NFL for a long time. So it was definitely a cool moment hearing that. And just as a sophomore in high school, you know, that always makes you happy, but you really don't know what God really has for you until it happens. So, you know, now that I'm here, I'm like, man, I mean, he was kind of right from the beginning. So it was pretty cool.
Bijan, you had nearly 1,500 yards, you had 8 touchdowns, and yet I think a lot of people thought, hey, maybe could have even done more. How did your rookie year stack up to your own expectations going into it?
Yeah, well, for me, you know, my expectations are high, and you know, when I look at expectations, I always shoot for the stars, and you know, try to get those 2,000 yards and you know, achieve accomplishments like that. But I think for my rookie year, like, you know, I had a fun year, man. I mean, it was definitely a blessing, like what God has done for me in my first rookie year, and just for me to learn and to, you know, go through ups, go through downs. You know, there was some adversity that I had to overcome throughout the season, and you know, for me, just, you know, being a rookie in this league and trying to find my feet and find my way, like, it was something that I really took pride in. But you know, I think everything happens for a reason, and you know, obviously, you know, I would always want to achieve more for my team and for my teammates. But I knew for what was to come my first year, you know, I was pretty happy with it.
Bijan, you mentioned your ability to run and catch the ball. When you watch the Super Bowl, obviously Christian McCaffrey is great at doing both. Is that somebody you could see yourself being used like, you know, throughout your career?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love how they, you know, put in a package and put in different packages to get him in open space so he can, you know, use his God-given talents as well. And for me, like, I want to be in that same category, in that same talk. You know, I started talking to Christian during the middle of the season, and you know, he just started giving me a lot of pointers on how to take care of my body, how to do a lot of different things. And you know, with him, you know, I look up to that dude so much, and he'll check on me throughout the season to see if everything's going good. But yeah, that's kind of somebody who I want to, you know, aspire my game after and you know, get onto the things that he's been doing.
Beginning of the year, there was a lot of talk about the undervaluing the running backs and guys not being able to get the contracts that they deserve. This year, though, I mean, McCaffrey obviously is a huge, you know, impact on the Niners. Isaiah Pacheco, the Baltimore Ravens run game, James Cook, like, the value of the running back was clear throughout the whole season and the playoffs. Do you think that could change some of the perception, or have you talked to other running backs about this?
Yeah, man, I think it'll really change, especially this year. Like, it was really good that Christian won Offensive Player of the Year, just to show, what the value of the running back still holds. And, for me, I think, you have to have a good running back, a great running back on your team to want to be successful, clearly. And, for me being one of those guys on a team that, is aspiring to be at the Super Bowl and to be at this point, one day, it's something that's really important for an offense and really important for a team. So, yeah, I think the position is starting to find its value again. And even if it's a slow process, it's starting to find it. So I really appreciate what all the guys did in the offseason, but it was good to see it during the season too.
All right, Bijan, thank you for your time. Have a great week. Have a great sophomore season. And again, great pick. Chiefs 27-20, Broussard. Broussard's got the 49ers.
Thank you, Bijan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bijan.
Are the 49ers officially on upset alert, Greg?
Of course.
And your pick. We need both.
Oh, yeah.
We need your pick.
Right now?
Give us your
it's
pick,
up to you.
I don't get to wait till like 4:00.
Oh no, that's fine. I need it in this segment.
You can lead into it.
The 49ers are definitely on upset alert. Look, what the Kansas City Chiefs do very, very well, and we all see it. They come out the gate, and they're going to get points. What the 49ers defense has not done very well is stop teams from coming out the gate and getting points.
Why is that?
I don't know, Wilds.
I don't
in this game, they better figure it out.
Right.
Because if you start getting behind with this quarterback and this team, with the defense that they have now, it's tough sledding. We saw that with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. It's just hard. It's a hard feat to ask a team in Brock Purdy in this offense, I don't care how many weapons you have, to allow Patrick Mahomes to be out front with the lead, and then you try to play catch up. So for me, they are definitely on upset alert. Will they get upset? That's a different conversation.
Oh. Well, can we have it? Who do you got?
It's 403.
Okay. All right.
Obviously, I've got the Niners 28-24.
So it's your fourth straight week in the playoffs saying there'll be no
upsets. This time, I'll be right.
Okay.
All right? But look, they can't come out like you said. I mean, if the Chiefs march right down the field, let's say they get the ball first, they march right down the field and score, or they stop the Niners, then march right down the field. Because if they get behind too much, then you got to throw the ball all the time, and you become one-dimensional. So I think the defense, Niners, we know has been better. They really haven't played great since Christmas or mid-December, whatever you want to say. But it's there. The capability is there. And they got to have some pride after what happened in these playoffs, particularly the last game against Detroit. And so I'm expecting them to have a bounce-back defensive game. And then I think offensively, Purdy is very good against the blitz. The Niners themselves are very good against man-to-man coverage, which the Chiefs like to do. And obviously they've got a great run game, and I think that's the weakest part of the Chiefs' defense. So that's the formula to me for winning. Of course, they're on upset alert. I mean, the Chiefs, I think, should be favored. So they could lose, but I'm going with the Niners.
Go on.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I want to hear you've been studying the all-22. We didn't do a whole sizzle reel for it, but I know you've been studying.
He was hogging the room. So I had to watch a lot of it on my phone.
You haven't seen any film.
Yeah. I've been grinding. I didn't need to grind because I picked the Chiefs in September.
Yeah.
When your kids were in a swimming pool, I was picking the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Here's the problem if I was the 49ers. Because the answer to both of these questions is going to be the Chiefs. Who's more likely to play the boring game that gets the W?
The Chiefs.
Right? Chiefs. Who's more likely to play the super weird game where running backs are catching passes and or throwing passes and there's laterals and there's strange things going on? Also the Chiefs. So the fact that they can win boring and exciting, I don't think Kyle Shanahan has any plan for that, because you have to plan for the whole spectrum of boring to weird. And then the other thing, as I've said this before, when the 49ers are up 10 points, Kyle Shanahan is going to get nervous. He's been in 2 Super Bowls. He's been up 10 points twice. I'm sorry, Dust, it's the truth. Trick or treat is pumpkin time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he's down a touchdown going into the fourth quarter, Kyle Shanahan will be nervous because he's 1-31, down a touchdown headed into the fourth. So the fact that the Chiefs can play any way from boring to exciting, and Kyle Shanahan is going to be nervous if he's winning and nervous if he's losing, is a recipe for disaster. 24-17 Kansas City.
And the Chiefs are better.
Well, that's true.
And matchup-wise, L'Jarius Sneed's the best cover corner in football. He is going to erase Brandon Ayuk. Brew, what is your biggest concern about the Niners' offense? What has it been all year?
What offensive line?
Particularly the right side of their offensive line. Hello, Chris Jones, maybe playing his last game as a Chief, who has, I think, a lock Hall of Fame spot if they win this game. If you are the best defensive player on a dynasty, the only all-pro connective tissue of the dynasty, you're in. The last time he had something on the line was $1 million in a Week 18 game against the Chargers. He set his career high for pressures in that game, even though no other Chiefs were playing. You have the Steve Wilkes defense that wants to go wide 9. Okay, Isaiah Pacheco will take advantage of that, and the Chiefs have shown they will. You have Niners defensive ends that are susceptible to what? Jet sweeps and screen games. Who is the best in the history of football at designing those? Andy Reid. And
Tony time?
But no, McCole Hardman maybe. By the way, you have perfect conditions, which while it's good for Brock Purdy because he melts in the rain, Mahomes has, much like LeVar Ball, never lost. Except this one, it's real in a dome. And I did this for you, Greg, even though I don't know who you're picking yet. Brock Purdy this postseason. I know he has had a couple nice moments, but the overall production against bad defenses, can we show it, please? This is one of my favorites. Stole this from Coward, but he stole a lot from me this week, so I don't care. Do we agree those are basically identical numbers?
We do.
Brock Purdy this postseason. And since I said I did it for Greg, it's a little Easter egg on who that is. Who is that? Danny Dimes last postseason.
He was rolling.
Was he?
Yeah,
well,
he loved my Vikings.
But you do have to give
2 games
Purdy
each?
more credit for the comebacks.
Yeah,
that's what you've been waiting all year to see. And he showed some nice.
That's fine.
And I don't know. I don't want to interrupt you, Nick.
No,
but
I'm done.
I think Shanahan gets more nervous if they're up 10. Now, not saying he's counting on a comeback, but he's seen it the last 2 weeks. If they're down 7 going into the fourth, I think now he actually believes we can actually win this game now. If they're up 10, that's when I'm not saying he's panicked, but that's when he's melted down. And if he loses another game up 10 in the fourth quarter, that's
Mahomes has had a second-half lead in 15 playoff games, and he's 14-1 in them. So I would not assume that's that would be a bad strategy for Kyle. Who do you have?
All right, so I already gave my apology to Chiefs Kingdom earlier this week, and I do owe another apology to Brock Purdy, man, because championship week, you came with it.
All right.
And you showed me that you are a difference maker at the quarterback position.
Wow.
With that being said, I apologize to Chief Kingdom for a reason. I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes.
There we go, Craig.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Well done. You tricked me for a moment, but well done.
Do you have a score, Greg?
Yes, I do have a score. 35.
Wow.
Yes, Chiefs. 35-17.
Wow.
You got a route.
We both had a similar margin. I had 31-13.
No one thinks that the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points.
Yeah, this will be the week. God, what a great story it would be.
Next.
Boy. Time to make some money. We didn't do this last week because there wasn't games, but just so you know, I picked the Pro Bowl right, too. Should count on the record. That's 2-0 last week. 2 easy underdog wins. The Lions covered for me even though they blew the game. So, going into the Super Bowl, we knew we needed to get the Super Bowl right in order to be above 500 for the postseason. But before that, some props for you. 4 quick props. Brock Purdy to throw at least 1 pick. You only have to lay -140. There are going to be batted balls galore. Brock Purdy barely being able to see over the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones, Giants. He is. That's why he is Drew Brees' son-in-law, according to Brew.
Because Chiefs don't really generate turnovers.
But the Chiefs lead the league.
They do bat a lot of balls.
They do lead the league.
And you know what?
Tips
and overthrows got to have those. That's what we always said in the defensive backs meeting.
This is true.
His next prop. Mahomes, over 26.5 rushing yards.
I like that.
The only way it doesn't come through is if, like, the last time the Chiefs played the Niners in the Super Bowl, he hit the over by 12 yards and then took 14 yards of kneel downs because they had to be funny kneel downs, wasting time, and it went under. He's going to run all over this Niners defense. All of a sudden, you'll be like, how can Fred Warner not catch him? Because Mahomes is just a little faster than whoever's chasing him. Next, Brandon Ayuk, erased by L'Jarius Sneed, under 62.5 receiving yards. And then the one fun long shot at 9.5 to 1. Tight end 2. Noah Gray to score a touchdown.
I like that too.
The Chiefs love that 13 personnel, 3 tight end set. Noah Gray will leave this game with half as many career postseason touchdowns as George Kittle has. And then, of course, the pick for the game. For the 3rd straight week, you are giving me the best quarterback to ever live and points. The Chiefs getting points. 2.5-point underdogs. They've been underdogs 4 of the last 5 playoff games, and they have, let me check, won all of them. There's Nick's picks for the week.
That's solid.
Resounding success.
I like the Noah Gray pick a lot.
Yeah, by the way, America, he's 47-1 to score the first touchdown, but that would be a little greedy. 9.5 to 1 to score a touchdown.
I'll take that.
Little 47-1 first touchdown. Noah Gray.
Pretty good.
All right, play action
coming up. Most to gain, most to lose.
Just most to lose. We're going negative. We're going dark.
But in the read, it's most to gain.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.